What's up, comic book community? My name is Joe, and this is 360 Comics. Over the weekend, as usual, I went out to yard sales and flea markets in search of some hidden treasures, and I mostly struck out, but I did come across a yard sale with 50 short boxes of comics, all priced at $1 a piece. Stay tuned to see what I got. I'll be picking a winner for last week's giveaway live on Instagram tonight, so stay tuned for that. But I'd also like to announce this week's giveaway. We've got a really nice high-grade copy of Marvel Fanfare number 1. If you want to enter to win this book, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. And of course, check out our other videos, like and comment on them for additional entries, and make sure you turn that notification bell on so you know when new videos are dropping. Good luck. A couple of people reached out to me last week to let me know about this sale, and there were a few things that piqued my interest as soon as I saw the ad. The first thing was the quantity. They said they had 50 short boxes of comic books, which is going to be over 5,000 books, and you know that I love digging through boxes and looking for hidden treasure. That being said, the second thing is the price point. They were $1 a piece. That is the best price point you're really going to find on comics nowadays. You know, every once in a while there's like a 50-cent sale or something, but typically on a per comic basis, it's $1 at the least. So I always love digging through dollar bins and trying to find some stuff that might be slept on, might be a lesser known key that people pass by, and you know, just also cool stuff for my personal collection, run fillers and things like that. The third thing was I recognized the address, and I had been to a sale previously, like a couple months ago. They had a sale, Coins and Comics, and their prices were decent. They were, you know, kind of around fair market value, but they also negotiated a little bit. I made an offer and ended up picking up a slab there last time. So I figured, you know, there wasn't going to be any like massive books, big keys or anything like that for $1, because these guys did know their stuff, but you know, they're reasonable guys as well. It probably wasn't going to be picked completely clean. There was going to be some good stuff, and as we're about to see, there definitely was. Let's kick it off with this X-Men number 24, this classic Andy Kubert cover of Rogue and Gambit. This book, I feel like every X-Men collector wants at least one copy of this, whether it's raw or graded or a reader copy, or they want to go for the high-grade newsstand. You know, pretty much every X-Men collector has this book in their collection. I have multiple copies myself. You know, just a great book that I will always pick up if it is just $1. Keeping with the X-Men theme here, this book is upside down. We've got X-Men number 36. This one, a little bit of a minor spec book. I believe this is the first appearance of Cinch, if I'm remembering correctly. Definitely a character that could be utilized in the MCU. Anytime that it's, you know, it's a mutant that was a member of the X-Men, I'm going to pick up that book just because there is some potential there, you know, at $1. And this is a really sharp high-grade copy as well. Then we've got X-Men number 50, I think this is. Maybe? Yeah, I think this is X-Men number 50. Can't remember. This is the first appearance of Post, the Herald of Onslaught. It's a foil cover. Cool stuff. Will we see this in the MCU? Maybe. Will it take a really long time for that to happen? Definitely, if it ever even does. But cool book for just $1. Then we got some Wolverine right here. This is issue number 57. I always pick this issue up when it's $1. It's the death of Mariko, and it's got a great cover as well. Definitely wouldn't pay more than $1 for it unless it was like a really, really high-grade copy, 9.8 contender. But even so, I probably wouldn't pay more than $5 for it. But always be on the lookout for that book for sure. Then we got Storm number 1. This is just for my PC probably. You know, really great cover. It's a number 1. I'll probably check it out, see if the story intrigues me, and maybe I'll pick up the rest of the run as well. Then we got Iron Fist number 14, and no, this is not the original. This is the Marvel Milestone Edition reprint of the first appearance of Sabertooth. Reprints, always great. I've talked about them on the channel before, and they hold a little bit of value. Not a ton, you know, $5, $10 at most usually. But speaking of Sabertooth, we've got Sabertooth number 1 from his own own title. This is the first Sabertooth title, and it also does have this pretty cool die cut cover, very 90s. And guess what, there was a second copy as well. So two really nice, sharp, high-grade copies. You got to watch with those die-cut covers. The cover is very thick on them. So when they do get damaged, whether it's like a corner ding or a spine tick, it is hard, if not impossible, to get them out. So you really want to buy them high-grade. You don't want to mess around with really trying to do any work on them, because it usually just doesn't work. Then we've got XForce number 8. This is the first appearance of Domino, and I know XMen or XForce 11 is the book people grab for Domino. It is a much better cover, but this is actually her first appearance. Number 11 is, I think, her second, but again, a much more focused cover, and I understand why that book is more expensive. Up next, we've got Secret Avengers number 6. This is when they reintroduce the character Fu Manchu back into the universe, the Marvel universe, as Zhang Zhu. And I for some reason, I thought this was something else. I actually picked it up accidentally, thinking that it was a different key significance that I'm specking on. But apparently it's not. Nonetheless, it is still a key, albeit a very minor key. So for $1, whatever, I'm happy with it. Then we've got the New Avengers number 30. Yes, number 30 here. This is the issue where Clint Barton rejoins the Avengers as Ronin. He's in his Ronin persona, which first debuts a few issues before this. It's also got this really awesome black and white Doctor Strange getting stabbed cover. Maybe is he being stabbed by Ronin? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what's going on with the storyline there. Never read this run, but definitely a cool cover nonetheless. Then we got some Thor. We got Thor number 350. Definitely a classic cover here. Walt Simonson, Beta Ray Bill, and Thor on the cover with that purple background. Really cool stuff from the early 1980s. And speaking of Thor, a couple issues later, we've got the 25th anniversary, I think it was. Yeah, 25th anniversary cover featuring Thor in the middle, surrounded by all the other Marvel characters on the outside. And one last book on the Thor theme. We got Tales of Asgard number 1. I just picked this up because it's a number 1. It relates to Thor, and it's in really, really nice condition for the time period this came out. This is a nice, thick 1980s book. So usually when I find this book, it has plenty of spine ticks. This one, definitely a solid-looking copy for its time. This one was very surprised to find in there. We got Spider-Woman number 6. This is one of the better books, along with that X-Men book that I first showed. Value-wise, this is a bondage cover, and it's also the first meeting of the original Spider-Woman and Werewolf by Night. And one of those characters is in the MCU. One could potentially show up. They could have a meetup. Who knows what's going to happen, but definitely a really, really great Bronze Age bondage cover here. Then we've got Captain Marvel in Marvel Spotlight number 1. This is volume 2 of Marvel Spotlight. And, I don't really think this has a key significance other than being the number 1 and having a really, really great cover. I don't think there's any first appearances or anything. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, I wasn't going to pass up on this, Bronze Age book in high grade for just $1. Then we've got some more cosmic stuff. Star-Lord number 1. First solo Star-Lord book. Great cover. And I actually just sold a copy of this at my claim sale on Friday. So, hey, I picked up a replacement already. I'm going to move these down real quick before we go on to the next batch, which kicks off with some Silver Surfer. This is Silver Surfer number 53. And this is the first appearance of Aldan, who has been rumored for a while now to be showing up in the MCU via Secret Invasion. Who knows if that's going to happen? Nonetheless, great cover, and this Silver Surfer run is definitely classic, and had a bunch of Thanos appearances, including this book right here, 2 issues later, number 55. This one, high-grade newsstand. I got to get these in bags and boards as soon as possible. Almost everything was bagged and boarded that these guys were selling, so kudos to them for that. Always makes it a lot easier on the collectors and stuff. So, there's probably only 10 books that I have to bag and board. Then we got Kazar, number 14? Yeah, number 14. Classic Todd McFarland goodness. And he's doing a signing at CGC later this year. It's been the talk of the town for a while now. Everyone's picking up their McFarland books. I figured this would be a great one to snag. Then we got Godzilla number 2. And this is a book I don't think I've ever found this in the wild. Godzilla #1, pretty expensive book. First appearance, official appearance of Godzilla in comics, in his own comic rather. But #2, no one really talks about that one. Second appearance, second book. I don't know if this is something that anyone really collects other than, the diehard monster and kaiju collectors, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a Bronze Age book for $1. Why not? Then we got some G.I. Joe, another one of those 25th anniversary covers, featuring, what's his name? Snake Eyes? Is that Snake Eyes? I don't know. I'm not a big G.I. Joe guy, so excuse me if I am incorrect about that. Another property that I am not super into, we got Masters of the Universe, issue #10. I think this is a minor key, but nonetheless, all the Masters of the Universe stuff really does well because there is a definitely a big following in that fandom. And a lot of people that cross over into comics as well. Next up, we got Batman number 658, early appearance of Damian Wayne. It's his fourth appearance, second cover appearance, and just a great book. I really like this 4-issue Damian Wayne run, and recommend it to anyone who is looking to get into that version of Robin. Speaking of Robin, we got Robin #1 from 1993, I think, and this book, there's two versions. There's the regular cover, then there's the deluxe foil embossed cover. I tend to find the deluxe version a lot more. I'm not sure the print runs, but this one is not only the version that I believe to be rarer, but it also, over on this side, is a newsstand. You don't see that too much from 1993, so definitely was an easy pickup there. And then moving on to Robin, a different Robin. This is Nightwing number 93. This is an important issue. Nightwing goes through an ordeal that is very traumatic, and definitely a really great story to read if you're into it. It's a great key issue, and I think the cover really depicts that storyline. And then we've got some of these covers from Death of the Family. There was the Nightwing book, the Catwoman book, and the Red Hood book. For $1 a piece, I'm always going to pick those up. They do pretty well. I'll tell you, people try to collect the whole set. I think there's 6, 7, 8. I'm actually not sure how many there are. I guess there's one for every Bat title that came out that year. That was the New 52 run, so everything was kind of running then. So there might be more than that. I've actually never tried to count. But anyway, moving on, we got Superman, Death of Superman, number 75. This is the second printing. You can tell by not only the white trade dress, but also the 2 up there in the top. And I also picked up a third printing. This one, even better, third printing newsstand, which you don't see them very often. Again, 1993, less newsstands certainly printed. Then we've got Superman number 666. This is just a milestone issue. It's got this cool like demonic Superman on it, and there wasn't just one copy, there were 2. A lot of people like to just pick these up because cool cover. Same thing with the Batman 666, which came out around the same time. I'm not sure if it was the same, might have been the same year. They're probably pretty close, but that's an even better cover, and it's got a great futuristic story featuring Damian as Batman. So check that out. Then we've got Superman number 750. Oh wow, I'm way off. 675. I knew it was like kind of a milestone. Classic Alex Ross cover. Can't go wrong. And we're gonna get into some Alex Ross in just a second. We got Green Lantern number 19. Really popular cover featuring Star Sapphire. Green Lantern Corps number 43. This is the first appearance of Guy Gardner as a Red Lantern. And we've got Green Lantern Corps Quarterly number 1. This is the first appearance of Jack T. Chance, who's on the cover. And boom, newsstand as well. Not super significant. This was early 90s, but still, nonetheless, people do try to pick those up. And the last of the green books, we've got Green Arrow number 1. This was from the Kevin Smith run from, I guess that was early 2000s? Yeah, 2001 when he took on the run. All right, we're coming down the home stretch now with some Justice League Europe number 33. First appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog in a mainstream comic, and it's a pullout, a 16-page pullout in the middle of this book. Always check that it's there, because a lot of people pulled them out to read them, to have them elsewhere, to trade them, maybe hang them up on their wall. So make sure it is in there. Otherwise, this book is incomplete. And that's really the only key significance about the book. So if it's not in there, it's kind of worthless. Then we've got some Teen Titans. This is issue number 38. This is the first cameo appearance of a ton of characters, like Riddler's daughter and Miss Martian, and I don't even remember. There's a whole slew of them listed on the Key Collector, and there were 2 copies of this. I figure, you know what? Cool little spec book. It has multiple first appearances. Maybe those characters will show up. Maybe they won't. Nonetheless, $1. Easy choice. Then we've got the first appearance of Miss Martian in full, the very next issue, number 39, and number 40, her first cover appearance. This one is actually the most expensive of all 3 of those Miss Martian books. Her first cover appearance, which is her second full appearance, which is her 3rd overall appearance. But yeah, it's got a great cover. That's definitely part of the reason why. Then we're moving on to some Alex Ross stuff. We've got JSA number 73. Got Shazam there, number 74. The Hawk People. This one's probably my favorite. 75 with Spectre. And I'm not going to be able to name all these characters because I am not much of a DC guy. No idea who this is. I'll tell you that. I know who this is. This is Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. Really great. This might be my second favorite of all of these. We got the original Flash, Jay Garrett. And who's this? Is this Hourman, maybe? I'm just guessing on that because he's got a little hourglass on him. I think that might be Hourman. Who knows? I certainly don't. We got JSA number 80. I forget. Someone told me who this was. Excuse me, recently. And I forget who it was. This one's Stargirl, I know that. And I assume that's Stripesy behind her. This one is actually probably the most popular of all these books, probably because of the Stargirl TV show. This one is the second volume. This is Justice Society of America, not just JSA. This one's Cyclone. I know that because this book has become popular because she is coming to the DCEU. And then we've got Liberty Bell here, and I only know this because someone told me this is Liberty Bell. I guessed on the name, and I was wrong when they asked me. The last couple books here, all Star Wars. This is Star Wars number 27 from Dark Horse. Don't think it's a key. Didn't even bother looking it up. I just pick up any Star Wars Dark Horse stuff that I can find for cheap because it's really popular. People always are asking for Star Wars, and the Dark Horse stuff tends to be a better sell than the other stuff, the Marvel. This is Star Wars Dark Empire, issue number 2 from Dark Empire 1. There are 2 volumes of Dark Empire, and the second one just has a Roman numeral 2 after it, so make sure you're grabbing the right one if you're trying to complete a set. Issue number 2, issue number 3, and issue number 4. These all had $3 tags on them, but I asked the guys, I was like, hey, are these $1 or are they $3? And they said everything's $1. You know, those are probably old tags. But I was like, cool. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Anyway, that's what I got. I think it was a pretty good haul. All in all, I think it was 56 books. And I went up and I said, hey, can I give you $50? You know, a little bundle deal. And they gave me not only the stuff for $50, but they threw in a short box for me to utilize to carry all this stuff home because it was a little less than half a short box worth of books. So shout out to them. I'll definitely be back for their future sales. I'll look out for that address, and hopefully they keep having some cool stuff like this. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Back Deck Comic Fest, which was at my house a few weeks ago. And speaking of, I'll be having another one in just a few weeks. I'm thinking the second week of November. I've talked about it a couple times. I just need to nail down a date based upon my work schedule and stuff. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, leave a comment, sub to the channel if you haven't. Check me out on Instagram, and until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.